Hey everyone, this is my video of flying into Lake Isabel here in the Seattle area. It's always been my dream to go into this lake and finally got a float plane, so this was my #1 destination I want to go to once I got comfortable with my airplane. We're in the Seattle area taking off out of Renton. We're in ForeFlight here, and this is the flight plan to Lake Isabel. This is a direct line. You can see the lake is in a box canyon here around 3,000 feet. I know the area really well here in the west, so this is just a direct line. I know I'm going to access it. But mainly for backcountry flying, I go into topo map so I can get a better layout of the land. So we'll go into there. Here we are, the topo map of Lake Isabel area using Google Maps. Normally I use InReach, but for making the video, it's just easier to use Google Maps. So as you can see, the lake is in this box canyon with the ridge line around here. So there's one way in and one way out here at this waterfall. Talked to other local pilots and instructors at this area. I got the information on what the best way to go in this lake and the kind of elements to be aware of. So for the traffic pattern, plan on coming in here, hugging this ridge here on the downwind, then using this space here for the base, and then final. I like to use as much base as we can because what I'm doing is trying to put distance, from these far points so I can increase my feet per nautical mile, climb rate, and just buy some space so I have the most climb distance that I need in case I have to do a go around. For the elements that are going on, the sun will be rising up over here on the east, shining sunlight over here on this hillside, which will cause a updraft. Right now there's some snow over here, still packed in this shadow area, so the wind will drop down this hill and then be rising up over here on this warm area, so I can bet to have a tailwind on the lake, which isn't ideal for a seaplane pilot, but for this area, that's it's probably the best case scenario on a light wind day. Because if we do have wind either out of the north here or even out of the east or south, you'll get some rotors on all of the hillsides causing turbulence. So this is my plan to get out of there, and let's go fly. So here we are, 3 o'clock in the morning to take off at a Pierce County Airport with the wheel plane to go get the float plane. The whole point of leaving early is to get nice cool temperatures for the most performance and a stable atmosphere. Just a beautiful day to be flying, and just can't wait to get in the mountains. When you're going into a backcountry airport for the first time, it's best to bring a flight instructor with you who is comfortable and familiar with the area. If you can't bring a flight instructor, bring another pilot who's been in and out of the airport. I'm in the 172 on floats with the 150 horsepower engine, so it lacks some performance. So I decided to go in by myself. I did talk to a lot of other pilots who have been in and out of there to get tips and tricks about weather patterns, traffic patterns, just operation of the airport. So I decided to save the wait and go by myself. And there she is, along with all her other friends here at Renton. So get this thing pre-flighted and we'll get on our way. All right, we just made it to Renton. Sun's just coming up, so it's still cold. Main thing with the temperature, I wanted to, like I said, more performance. The lake's at 3,000 feet, so the density altitude should be right around 1,700. We have a good high pressure system over the area right now. And then last night I came here and took out any extra weight I didn't need. I did pack my InReach, some food, just a little survival equipment. So that went nice and light to 2,300 pound max takeoff weight airplane, and we're at 1960, so nice and well under the weight. When pre-flighting the float plane on the ramp, the wings are so high that they're difficult to get to. You have to get a ladder. Or you can launch the plane, tie it up, and then do your pre-flight there, checking the hinges and the weights and the tail, flip it around and check the other side. So just another way to check those surfaces without having to get a ladder. So your pre-flight's not just done on the ramp, it's also done when you launch. I know I'm going over everything really fast. Just leave comments on the video and I can go more in depth to things. I could probably do a whole video just on pre-flighting a float plane, or going pre-flight in the backcountry airplane, or even just what kind of equipment to bring. So just leave things in the comments. If you want it, I'm here to produce any information. Background, CFI, II, MEI, ATP type ratings of about 7,000 hours, and I try to get in the backcountry as much as I can. So I'm here to provide information. So just add it in the comments, and I'll get to it and make a video for it. So here we are going into Lake Isabel. As you can see from the sun, we're heading eastbound, and that sun is facing west, and so wherever that sun hits, that's going to be rising air. And then as you look in the canyon, you see there's still snow in the mountains, so that air from the snow is going to drop down into the lake, and it's going to rise on the other side. So knowing that, we can expect a tailwind as we go in, which is never a great thing on a float plane, but sometimes with this lake, that's probably one of the light tailwinds is going to be the best condition you're going to get with light winds aloft. So we are coming into the canyon. I've already done this pass one time. This is my second pass. I did an inspection pass on the first one. I just didn't want to bore you with that video. So here I am hugging the right side of the canyon, and at this point I'm starting to slow up to my canyon speed. Canyon speed is a speed where you are reducing your airspeed so you can get a tight radius but still having a good margin for stall. And again, I could do a whole nother video on canyon speeds, just knowing the performance of your airplane. So here we go, like I was talking about in the pre-flight, just kind of hugging the canyon, keeping my distance close to the canyon in case I did have to make a turn and go directly out and do a so-called go-around. So I'm holding the sight here, and then off to my left it drops down, so that way in case I did have a failure emergency, I'll be able to go down, get in ground effects, pick up some speed, and hopefully make it down to the lower lake. It would be tight, but sometimes mountain flying, you don't have that option. So at this point, I got a nice final to the lake, but I'm still going to make a right turn here and lose some altitude. I don't like to do the chop and drop maneuver on my aircraft. I try to slowly bring back my power setting as I'm coming into land, especially in cold areas, because I just don't want to shock cool that engine. I want to try to keep it as warm and as I can, and cool it nice and slow, because in this high altitude, if I were to chop and drop, bring the power back and point the nose down, that could cool the engine down faster than I want. So here you can see on the water, there's a little ripple for that tailwind coming out. I touched down a little harder than I normally like, but I just had so much going on. Like I said, it's my first time going in here, and I had just so much excitement that this is really happening, that I was touching down on this lake, just didn't land as smooth as I normally like to, but hey, that's just the way it goes, because the whole time I'm thinking about go around as I was coming in, probably hug the right side of the canyon, again, use the canyon to my advantage, so that way I'm putting as much space between me and the end of the lake where the trees are as I can. And now that I've made it onto the lake, it's time to enjoy. It's just awesome being able to get back here. It's a beautiful day, and this is just why I love flying. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me any comments, likes, subscribe.